President Trump is planning to travel to Saudi Arabia in mid-May on his first foreign trip since returning to the White House. Two U.S. officials and a source with knowledge of the president's travel said Trump's decision to go to Saudi Arabia on his first foreign trip signals how close the relationship between the Trump administration and Gulf countries has become, especially when it comes to economic cooperation and investment. Trump, during his first and current terms, has adopted the Zionist interests, even the international resolutions that were set by America and other major countries. America was pursuing countries that violated these resolutions. Trump has undermined these resolutions that oppose Zionist interests. He has undermined the United Nations resolutions that consider the West Bank an occupied land in which the Zionist entity has no right to settle, but rather must withdraw from it to the borders of June 4, 1967. He has also undermined the United Nations resolutions regarding East Jerusalem as occupied Palestinian land, as well as its resolutions regarding the Golan Heights as occupied Syrian land, and he has recognized the legitimacy of the Zionist entity's decision to annex Jerusalem, Al-Quds, and the Golan Heights. This confirms that he will recognize the legitimacy of the settlements and what the Zionists have seized so far in the West Bank, and allow more settlements to be established or expanded. This began when he pardoned the settlers who were subject to sanctions during Biden's term. Trump will continue his plan to establish a Zionist entity by making the rest of the countries in the region rise up and normalize relations with this entity to acknowledge its legitimacy and its usurpation of Palestine. Among the countries nominated for this is Saudi Arabia, especially since the Saudi Crown Prince's connection is strong with Trump, who is strongly following up on the entity's normalization with Saudi Arabia. This may not be delayed as the Saudi regime's complete compliance with what the Republican administration headed by Trump wants is understood by every person of sight and insight. Trump announced on the 23rd of January 2025 that Saudi Arabia will invest $600 billion in the American economy, and I will ask to raise it to $1 trillion. Al Hurra America, the 23rd of January 2025. And he stated that this took place in a phone call with the Saudi Crown Prince, bin Salman, on the evening of Wednesday, the 22nd of January 2025. That is, with just one phone call, the de facto ruler of Saudi Arabia immediately complied with the American president's request to support the American economy with hundreds of billions of dollars. This indicates the extent of the Saudi regime's readiness to submit to American requests during Trump's term. Therefore, with just another phone call, bin Salman will announce his readiness to normalize relations with the Zionist entity when asked to do so.